Hi everyone. In this class, we are going to discuss one of the important chapter from history, that is the world between the world wars. Means world between the world wars. Means the World War One. World War One from 1914 to 1918, and World War II from 1939 to 1945. Means between the two world wars, how was the world, that we are going to discuss in this lesson. What is the chapter name? World between the world wars 1914 to 1945. Means from the starting of the World War 1 to ending of the World War 2, what were the incidents occurred in the world that we are going to discuss in this lesson. The first, in this lesson they given 9 topics to us. The first of all, before going to learn the each and every topic clearly from this lesson, actually what topics were mentioned in this lesson we have to learn. So before going to see the first topics, now we see the introduction of this lesson. And actually first half of the 20th century, what were the incidents were emerged in the world, that we have to see. The first half of the 20th century means generally from the 1900 to 1950. This is called as a first half of the 20th century. Means between this only you can see that 1914 the first world war, 1939 second world war, 1945 UNO was established, 1917 Russian Revolution, 1929 Great Depression. So like this many events were emerged in the world. So that between the 1900 to 1950. So that the first half of the 20th century, how was it? We have to discuss first topic. And the next one, next topic, causes and consequences of the two world wars. What are the immediate cause? What are the long term causes for the two world wars? Means World War One and World War Two. That is also one of the important topic. And even result also. What is the impact of the wars on the world and what is the result? And finally the Second World War ended with the establishment of the UNO. So while introducing this lesson, what actually there in this lesson they given to us with a outlook. What is that? First half of the 20th century, what happened, and as well as the causes and consequences of the two world wars, and establishment of the UNO, or the creation of the UNO for the peace and development in the world. And next, what are the topics to be learned in this lesson? This lesson divided into 9 topics. Before going to see a movie, first we have to see a trailer. After trailer we will decide to, after seeing the trailer we will decide to watch a movie. At the same time, this is the trailer to us. Means what are the important topics are there in this lesson. First we should see. And first one, the 20th century. The 20th century is described by age of extremes. By whom? Eric Hobsbawm. The 20th century described as a age of extremes. By whom? Eric Hobsbawm. So what is the reason to call it? We have to discuss here. The second one, causes for the world wars. It is a long question answer in exam. What are the causes for the two world wars? Explain in detail. May ask a question for the long question. Next one, the world after the first world war. Okay, you know that the first world war tenure is from 1914 to 1918. What happened after the first world war? What institute was established after the first world war? We have to discuss here. Next, fourth topic, the Russian Socialist Revolution. It was from 1917 to 1922. One more long question answers here. There is a chance to ask from the explain about Russian Socialist Revolution. How Russia became USSR. That we have to learn in this topic. And one of the important topic here, that is the Great Depression. It is from 1929 to 1939. What is Great Depression? What is occurred in this depression? We have to see. This is the fifth topic. Now the sixth topic, rise of fascism and Nazism. These are the two important ideology of the Italy and Germany. And what about these ideologies we have to discuss. And then Second World War. What are them? What is the immediate cause to get the Second World War, and what is the impact of the Second World War in the world? And next, the defeat and the end. In the First World War, who defeated? In the Second World War, who defeated? How Second World War ended? That also you can see. And the last topic is consequences of the world wars. Result, is it positive impact of the world or the negative impact of the world? That we have to discuss. So like this, our lesson means the first chapter in the history, 12th chapter in the textbook. They given these 9 topics to us. If one by one we'll discuss each and everything clearly. Now the first topic in this lesson, that is a 20th century. The one of the important topic among the 9 topics, and there is a chance to come for long question answer. Why the 20th century described by Eric Hobsbawm as a age of extremes? This is a question. I am repeating. Why the 20th century described by Eric Hobsbawm as a age of extremes? Who was Eric Hobsbawm? Means a historian. This is also may come for MCQ question. Now you see that why the 20th century described as a age of extremes. Now we are seeing the answer for those points. First one, fascism was growing strong because of its ideas of unquestioned power. Fascism, where did born? The fascism was born in Italy by Benito Mussolini. What is meant by fascism? It is ideology, and they were hatred for other people. Hatred means hated other people, means other than the Italy. If any people belongs to other country in the Italy, they hatred and they want to get the superior in the world. That is a fascism ideology. The similar Nazism also ideology developed in the Germany by Hitler. Second point, the need for democracy was also growing. Example, America. Means in America, the ideology was developed for the democratic ideas. Next one, third point, the average life expectancy rate was growing. Average life expectancy means average years of living. India's average life expectancy may vary from 60 to 70 or 70 to 80, depends upon the different states. So life expectancy rate increased. So why increased? Because of the new discoveries in the field of medicine. Means you know that medicine also one of the important factor to increase the life expectancy of the people because of inventions in the medical field. Like if any person got heart stroke, now they are giving stents. If there is no, that is a medical invention. If there is no the stunt technology in our country, the person may pass away. So that it is also one of the reason to increase life expectancy. Medicines, vaccines, and these are also may comes under this. Literacy levels also became very high in the 20th century. You know that already while introducing this lesson I said 20th century means 1900 to 1999. Many changes were emerged in the world. Life expectancy rate increased, literacy rate is increased, and the fascism ideology developed, as well as the democracy importance increased. Next one, in the field of science, new discoveries were made about life and atoms, and about the life and atoms also in the field of science increased. New discoveries were emerged. And one more last important points are related to this. More than 100 countries became independent all over the world in the 20th century. That is also one of the important points. I am repeating here. Why the 20th century as age of extremes means, first one, the fascism was growing. It hatred to other people. The need for democracy also increased. The average life expectancy rate increased, literacy levels increased, and in the science as well as in the field of science, new discoveries were emerged, and more than 100 countries got independence. See that here the 6 points are there, 6 keywords write down. Based on that, you can write answer easily. And some more explanation related to this only. What is it? Here the two countries were there in the world. Mainly two countries were there in the world in that time. One is USSR, second one is USA. USSR experimented with socialism. Socialism means the land, industries, and whatever the property belongs to the government and the public, that called as a socialism. So opposite to the socialism is the USS capitalism. Simple MCQ question. What is that? Socialism belongs to among the following: USSR. Capitalism belongs to among the following: USA. USA adopted liberal democracy. Liberal means freedom. Means they given the freedom to them. They promoted capitalist system. Who promoted? USA promoted capitalist system, which all means of production were owned by private persons. Here the public, here the private. USSR given the priority for the public owned, and USA given the priority for the private owned. Next one. At the beginning of the 20th century, the world was divided into developed industrial countries of the world. What were they? Which among the following are the example for the well-developed industrial countries in the world in the initial years of the 20th century? Means Britain, USA, Germany, France, Italy. Mostly Western countries of the world, they described as a developed countries in the world. And they were colonized. They were the colonized of Asia and African countries. Like India colonized by the Britishers. Okay. And some other countries from Africa, Asia also, they colonized by them. Later, after few years, it was divided into, means the industrial countries split into two groups. Why they were splitted? They want to get the authority over the markets. Markets of India, markets of other Asian countries, markets of Africa. So that based on their competition, they were divided into two groups as a German group and the Britain group. The German group is known as a Axis powers. Axis powers. Britain group known as a Allied powers. Here also it is very important to remember them. Which among the following is a Allied power? Which among the following country is a Axis power? May ask. So in that you see that Germany, Austria, Hungary belongs to Axis powers. These are also known as Central powers. And Britain, France, Russia are known as a Allied powers. Okay, like this, the competition increased in the initial years of the 19th and the 20th century. Then it causes to start World War in 1914. So due to the competition between these industrial nations divide into two groups as a Axis powers and as well as Allied powers. Finally the First World War began in 1914 and it was ended in 1918. Then who defeated in the First World War? In the First World War, Britain and France defeated the Germany in 1918. Means Germany was defeated by which among the following countries? Means Britain as well as the France. Then the World War I ended in the 1918. This is the first topic of the 12th chapter. You know that already I said in this lesson 9 topics are there. In the 9 topics, this is the first topic. The first topic is about the 20th century. 20th century means who described the 20th century as age of extremes? Eric Hobsbawm. Why the 20th century described as age of extremes? I explained here. Once you see again and write down, note the as it is, you can write. Okay, next we'll discuss second topic, that is the causes of the world wars.